All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're back up here, and now we're going to talk about, today what we're going to talk about is the fact that I'm struggling with if I really want to let this go. Okay, you've seen, or you're going to see a video on how I have set a parameter of what I'll take a new Rubicon for, and in that video I told you colors that I would accept and what I'm kind of interested in, and we kind of dove into that and looked at it, but now we have this dilemma because I'm actually starting to shop. Now, that means that if I get this numbers and they hit it somewhere, then I'm letting go of this, trading it in, and then I'm going to get a new one. Now, that also gives me some reservation. I'm not sure in my heart 100% that I want to have that happen. Okay, I'm not sure I want to let this one go. It's got 48,000 miles on it. A lot of life left in it. It's got a 100,000 mile warranty. Realistically, though, for me, that means a little over a year from now, and I'm going to be at, a year from now, I'll be at 80,000 miles. I'm not keeping a vehicle any longer, Dad. I don't want to if I don't have to, unless something catastrophic happens. I do not want to. I'd rather just move on and get away from it and buy something new. That's my plan. But this one, this Jeep right here, this specific one right here for 50,000 miles in 18 and a half months has not let me down one time. It has never come into the dealership for anything other than its first oil change. It has never once let me down on a trail. It has never once failed me. It has never once gave me a hiccup. It has never once did anything like that. And even the windshield, this is the first vehicle I have owned in my life, knock on wood and knock on everything. Look at all the bugs. Welcome to Georgia. But this is the first vehicle that I've never had a crack in my windshield. Knock on wood. Again, I'll knock on everything I got. And yet everybody told me that Jeeps will crack windshields all the time. I've had it for almost 2 years, and I've never had to replace the windshield in it. Okay, that's insane. My Tacoma that you guys saw, I replaced the windshield 3 times in 17 months I owned it. I replaced the windshield 3 times and turned it in with a cracked windshield. Okay, so crazy. But this thing just does not let me down. It does not fail. It doesn't get stuck very often, and when it does, it's because of the fact that I made a bad decision, and it got to a point where the tires could no longer touch the ground to give it any traction. High-centered it. Every time I've had to winch this thing out, which has been 4 now, it is because it's been high-centered. This thing lives in the swamps. It lives in the mud. It lives in the dirt. It does not have a hard life. It just works for a living. There's a difference. This thing's been amazing on every level, but it does not let me down. It starts perfect. It runs perfect. There's no issues with anything. It doesn't burn a drop of oil. It doesn't have a problem. Anything, it is just pure flawless. There's not an electrical gremlin. The roof doesn't leak. All the stuff that you hear people talk about, and every vehicle, I had a comment today that was on the video that I made about Gladiators and what, this could be bad for me. There was a guy in one of those videos that I put out today that said that he had to get rid of his. He liked the vehicle, but had to get rid of it. Too many electrical gremlins, too many problems, and something, I can't remember what it was, but he's like, never again. I'll never buy a Jeep ever again. Never let them do that to me again. You know what? I mean, if you had a Toyota Tundra and your motor blows out, okay, all of a sudden now Toyota is the worst company in the world. Or if you had a Chevy and you had a lifter failure and you're 5'3", or you need a new motor and you're 6'2", or your transmission module or control module is gone, is now Chevy the one you'll never buy again? So let me put it this way. They're all so much the same today. So let's just say that you bought a Ford Bronco 3 years ago, and all of a sudden the valves dropped out of this thing and you lost the thing for a year under this. You had the lemon law, go through all this stuff, and now you're like, I'll never buy a Ford ever again. Okay, Ford's out. Then you go buy a Chevy and the lifters go out in that thing, and so now it's gone and you got to get a new motor in there and a whole rebuild on that thing at 45,000 miles, and that's done. You're like, I'm never buying Chevy again. So now you lost Ford, you lost Chevy. So then you went out and you bought a Toyota Tundra, you were all excited, and then the motor goes out and they're telling you it's a year away. You've lost Toyota. Okay, what do you got left, especially if you're a truck guy? Ram's doing pretty good. They don't have any too major problems like that. But let's say you bought a Hemi, you went out and bought a Hurricane, and your catalytic converters are overheating and melting stuff, and or you had the thermostat housing issue and it was on back order, and your truck was gone for 2 months, and now you lost you lost Ram. What do you got left? Point is, they're all the same. Makes no difference. And to that point, any one of these can have problems. Just the same if I did the same sweeping movement. Look how good I did that. That's pretty sexy, right? If I did that same movement at any Ford dealer, Ram dealer, Toyota dealer, Nissan dealer, Chevy dealer, doesn't matter. It can be any single dealer. I could say the same thing. But here, right here, the only thing I can say here is never let me down in 50,000 flawless miles of some of the toughest miles that anybody could ever dream of, and stuff that most people will never put their vehicle through. And this one here, it's not even named. I don't even know what you'd call it. I would call it Rebecca because it's a Rubicon. Nowadays officially, but I'll never call it that. But this Rubicon Rebecca has been through so much with me and never let me down. I am a little skeptical on actually letting it go. I'm a little concerned because we know that any vehicle can have a problem. If I buy that Fathom Blue Rubicon right there, that's an X, I wouldn't get that. But if I were to buy that or buy this one right here, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I just won't own white. But if this was it and I was buying this, how do I know that in 10,000 miles the motor's not going to blow out on it for some reason? How do I know that at 15,000 miles, the infotainment system's not going down and all these quirks happen? And how do we know any of this? Or that a control module on the transmission's bad? Or that we're going to have lifter failure in it for some weird reason? Or that when they manufactured the specific motor that is sitting in this truck right now, there was debris in the engine as they built it, and now the motor is completely locked up and gone. And that also happened to this one, that one, all of those ones over there. Nobody knows it yet, but now all of a sudden, I'm on a 1 year back order for a motor for it. We know nothing. We don't know. Okay, everything today is a crapshoot, but this is not a crapshoot. Pure, flawless perfection for 18 months. There is not a speck of corrosion on it. There's not an issue on it anywhere. There is nothing. Pure 100% brilliance and pure perfection and reliability that takes me everywhere I need to go in some of the craziest places, and it gets me back with a smile on my face every single time. So yeah, I'm a little hesitant on letting it go. I will, however, let the math do the math. If I can get into a new one for I already know what the trade value is on this. I'm getting numbers at 33. And I've already tried to work one deal on a 41, but unfortunately it was also today when Stellantis announced dealership employee pricing, which is going to hurt us on those of us that get really good deals. But I tried to get one, a color 41. They couldn't make the numbers work. They were off by about $6,000. I'm not playing that game. I need it to be this style, cloth seats like this, and I need it for $42,500 at the very highest I'm going to pay, $42,500, and I need $33,000 on trade for this. If I hit those numbers, I will let her go. However, I will not ever say that that is the best decision. I cannot convince myself that it is the smartest thing to do. I am torn. Pure, flawless perfection in every kind of way, sitting right here in a time and a world where every single thing that you see on this lot could be a time bomb, a ticking time bomb ready to go down at any given second. And if that sign said Ford or Chevy or Nissan or Toyota or anything else, everything that you could point at has the same fatal flaw. We don't know what they will do, what will happen, or how well they will work. We know nothing. This is 100% known. 100% known, proven, been there, done that, earned its keep, earned its trust, and been everything I wanted. So that makes it very hard to let it go. Anyway, that's my dilemma. That is where I'm sitting. I am stuck. It is crazy. I know I made a couple videos similar to this already, but this is real world problems that I am facing here. What to do? You know, what I want to do. What am I going to do? But as far as this Jeep is concerned, there's no better vehicle made in the entire world under any circumstances today than this one. 50,000 of the roughest, meanest miles that you could ever think of, and this thing has took me there without question every single time, without failure, without hiccup in any kind of way, and I could never ask for anything more out of a vehicle today. It has lived up and done its job. Do I really want to let it go? We're going to see what happens. Thanks for watching. Questions, comments, put them below.